It's a special M930, and we have a very special guest. She's an actress, and she has taken Sri Lanka to international heights. Actually, she's one of the two who took Sri Lanka to India. She's won awards there as well as here, and she is our guest today.
மழை மழை என் உலகத்தில் வருகின்ற முதல் மழை நீ முதல் மழை அலை அலை என் இதயத்தில் அடிக்கின்ற முதல் அலை நீ முதல் அலை என்ன திண்மை என்ன வன்மை எந்த பெண்ணும் அதிசய வெண்களம் போக போக புரிகின்ற போர்க்களம் ஒன்று செய் இப்போதே உள் நெஞ்சை உடையச் செய்
You know by now our guest. That's Pooja Shankar. Pooja, how are you today?
Good morning. I'm feeling good. I was in fact just telling her I'm a little tired with all the interviews, but tired as in happy tired. And when I was told that this is a special interview, so I thought I must be a part of it. So I'm happily in your studio today.
Tell me, this is probably a question that most of the people ask you. How did film happen to you?
Chanakya, film happened entirely by chance. Most of our answers are all the same for most of the actresses, actors rather, because I'm sure some of us want to be in film, some of us don't even think about being in films, and I belong to the latter category. I never thought that I could act. I was a very shy child. Even in school, if you ask my mother, she'll tell you that I used to always sit in the last bench. I would not take part in any of the extracurricular activities. Of course, I liked to dance. I wanted to learn Bharatanatyam. But my dad said, no, you have to study, that's all. I've put you in a good convent, it's for you to study and get good marks, and tomorrow, I mean, I didn't think he thought that I would finish my MBA, he just thought I could at least finish my degree. And so I completely, it was all by chance. So luck, chance, and I got an opportunity. My friends pushed me into it and said, don't be stupid, just go and do it, enjoy the experience. Or not enjoy, they said, just find out how it is and come and tell us. You know, even if you don't want to act, at least you go act and come and tell us how it was, you know, acting with Madhav and all. That time it was with, it was a new crew. Ulam Kekme was my first film, but the one that released first was JJ. So because of my friends pushing me, I kind of landed into this field, and here I am today.
Yeah. Now, you received the Best Actress Award for Nankadavil,
yes,
that film. Now, when you as an actress look at it, you acted in films before and obviously films after. Do you think that you should have been given the best actress for any other film of yours? Or are you happy with that judgment?
No. That is left with the judges to, I mean, you know, deliberate and see. But it's like this. For me, as long as the director and the producer is happy with the final product, and as long as the audience appreciates the effort put in by everybody, for me that itself is an award. So, but yes, getting a state award, a Filmfare or a Star Award means a lot. It's like getting your certificate, your PhD or your degree certificate saying, yes, you've passed with flying colors. Yes, it makes a lot of difference, but I'm glad that I got it for Naan Kadavul because it was a journey that I took. I've learned A, B, C, D to Z, then I started forming words, and then it's like I've learned now to make a sentence and actually answer a question. So basically, I'm happy that I got it for Naan Kadavul. I think, I feel I could have done a better job when I look at the film. I'm my worst critic. I feel I could have definitely done better than that. But the panel thought that it was good enough and they gave me the award, so I'm forever grateful.
Now, you acted, Pooja, in very many types of films, that is different languages,
Yes.
obviously Sri Lankan films, Indian films,
Yes.
Kannada films. Now, when you train yourself to act in this film, is it difficult? Is it for you to, you know, adapt a different different set of cultural values where people look at different films? So you have to retrain yourself every time you act in a different type of a film.
See, that's the thing. I believe if you're a professional, you will be 24/7 trying to better yourself in anything that you do, in whatever profession that you're in. For me, I think because it came very easily to me, I didn't have to struggle to get into cinema. I didn't have to go and make a portfolio. I didn't have to stand in a queue outside the producer's office and say, sir, can you please give me a role or give me a small role even. I didn't have to do any of that. So for me, I think I didn't realize the importance of what I had in hand.
Yeah.
I just went in just like that without thinking. I had no thought process happening when I went in to do films. But but the thing about me is I'm somebody who gets along with everybody. I don't need much time. I just need 2 seconds. If I find you smiling, then I'm your friend. I don't mind talking to you. But then if
adopt easily.
Yes,
Yeah.
And I guess that quality of me, the fact that I talk a lot, I love to talk.
Yeah.
You have to literally, like, you know,
Zip you off.
stitch a zip onto my mouth to keep me quiet. That kind of helped me blend into every language, and I always wanted to learn different languages. So for me, getting a Malayalam film or a Telugu film or a Sri Lankan film for that matter was a challenge, was something exciting. So for me, I didn't have to train myself as such, because I think South Indian culture, Sri Lankan culture is very similar to each other. Maybe I would have had to make some kind of a paradigm shift in my I don't know, in my thought process if I were to do Bollywood probably. But otherwise, I didn't find it difficult at all. I didn't have to make an effort.
Now, talking of Bollywood, that's one of my questions. You have not probably acted in the Bollywood per se films, but what is the difference you see as an Indian actress in the Bollywood film and South Indian films? Is it completely different?
I wouldn't say it's different. It's like this. South Indians love to eat rice. North Indians love to eat chapati and paratha, right?
Yeah.
It's just those kind of differences. I mean, I'm not talking about food. It's the storyline. What happens, up north is a completely different. It has a completely different foundation when compared against to what probably happens in a village down south, right? So, and you know, South India, we have these tapangutu numbers. You know, there's really drum beating, and people are crazy. They love to dance, and you know, even North Indians are that way. But then they have a different way. You know, they have the bhangra. You know, those kind of differences. But otherwise, I don't think there's. Technically, I doubt there's any difference.
Now, in Bollywood, they brought in these kissing scenes, was accepted about 10 to 8 years ago.
Okay.
What is your opinion on that? Do you think it should be there in our South Asian film culture, or is it accepted, or is it something that is culturally cliche, shouldn't be there, or what?
It depends from person to person. I'm not comfortable doing scenes like that. I think
You don't get such scenes in South Indian films?
I'm sure you do, but then they have a different way of taking it, or you'll find a small flower coming in between when there's a kissing scene, or you know, they go behind the tree. I don't know what, but I'm sure it used to be, or in a different measure, in a different capacity maybe. But I think it depends on the script, if the script requires for it, and if the concerned technicians are happy with it. I mean, not happy, as in if they are comfortable with it. if the concerned actors are comfortable with it, I think there shouldn't be any problem. But for me, coming from a small village, where my dad comes from a very small village, for them it's like even acting is like a big thing. Like, can you believe it? She's acting. So for me, it's a definite no. It's not possible by me.
உன்னிடத்தில் உள்ளதெல்லாம் அள்ளி கொள்ளவா உன் உடம்புக்குள் உயிர் மட்டும் விட்டு செல்லவா உன் வேரோடு மழை சென்ற வரவா உன் வெட்டத்தை குளிப்பாட்ட வரவா குளிப்பாட்டி அழுக்காக்கவா படவா நீ தொடவா நான் தொடவா மாதவா கொள்ளவா உன் உடம்புக்குள் உயிர் மட்டும் விட்டு செல்லவா சண்டை போடவா விட்டு செல்லவா மஞ்சளுக்கும் கொழுப்பிருக்கும் உன் முடி முதல் கால் வரை கொழுப்பிருக்கும் விழிகளில் அளந்தால் இலக்கணம் இருக்கும் விரகளில் அளந்தால் இலக்கியம் இருக்கும் பட்டுக்கைகளால் நீ தொட்டு கிடந்தால் பாறையும் இளமை சுரக்கும் பாலாற்றை நீராட்டவா படவா நீ தொடவா நான் தொடவா சண்டை போடவா உன்னிடத்தில் உள்ளதெல்லாம் அள்ளி கொள்ளவா உன் உடம்புக்குள் உயிர் மட்டும் விட்டு செல்லவா
M930, a very special program today with Pooja Umar Shankar. We've been chatting to her about her film past, and we will be chatting to her in the next hour or so. Pooja, traditionally, when you look at Indian cinema, you see this family dynasty is what that has taken place, from father or uncle. If you see the Kapoor family in Bollywood, my question to you is this the same in South Indian films? And or do you see in the present day merit-based acting? That means if you are good, whether you come from a family of directors or actors, it doesn't matter. Do you get the chance like probably you got?
I think it's a mix of both.
Mix of both.
Mix of both, because what happens is when you have your grandfather and your father and your mother and everybody into the field, you kind of get trained as a child. You know, they send you to dance school and they send you for gymnastics and music, and so basically you are anyway trained. So you already have the merit in you, right? And since you're already, it's part of your system, it's running through your veins, it's in your blood, you have the dynasty also happening, and you have the newcomers also happening, and you have big budget movies becoming super duper hits and super duper flops, and you have small budget movies becoming super duper hits and super duper flops. So basically, I think our industry is great down south. They allow everybody and anybody a chance. They give everybody a chance to prove themselves, and if the story is good and if the acting is good, our audience also is not, we have a very smart audience, right? They accept even sense and nonsense, because sometimes in life gets too serious, and you need a little bit of slapstick comedy to kind of shake you up and, you know, release the tension. So I guess our audience will take anything as long as, you know, it appeals to their taste buds. So Yeah, we have both happening.
Now, you see in Indian films now, Indian films have gone international. If you look at the past 10 years or
Yes.
8 years. And they make the films with locations in US or Europe or other
Yes.
countries, and they appeal to a wider audience.
Yes.
Now, while doing this, have you seen that they have kind of lost an Indian touch? Or have they managed to maintain it?
No, it's like this. It's like asking me, why don't people post letters anymore, and why has email come into being? It's just that simple. When the globe, it's not become countries. It's just one globe right now. It's just one world. It's just the earth. Everybody's talking about just, you know, everything coming together. So when that's the case, and when going abroad, and it's beautiful, so people don't have to spend as much money and go and see places when you can see it in a beautiful song. You know, and instead of spending as much money and spending as much time, you get to see it in a song. It's beautiful. So I think it's good. I think it's good.
Tell me about your Sinhalese films. We'll come to talk about Kusapaba later, but
Sure.
you did a very successful block. It's, how do you like it? Do you prefer doing this to South Indian, or is it a completely different thing for you? Is it easy?
You're trying
Is it
to
difficult?
get me into trouble.
Right.
No, it's like this. I'm enjoying the limelight here in Sri Lanka. I'm enjoying the love, you know, the audience calling me the fans. I'm enjoying it, honestly. I think I'm lucky. Honestly, sometimes I feel I don't deserve what I'm getting, because God's been just too good to me, and the lady luck is shining, you know, right at my doorstep. So I'm just taking it instead of throwing it away. I don't want to be a fool. And for me, the thing was, my grandparents fell really ill, both of them, say about 7-8 years back. And that was when I was doing Tamil films, right? And I told my mother, it's okay, I've already done 4 Tamil films, I can take care of myself now, because Amma used to go with me everywhere. Since I didn't know the people, I didn't know the place, I didn't know the language, so my mother used to go along with me everywhere. Then finally, when both my grandparents fell ill, my mother had to come down to Sri Lanka and start looking after them. And she's the only child. That's why I kept telling my mother, it's so sad that I have no cousins, as in immediate cousins in Sri Lanka. My mother doesn't have brothers and sisters. She's the only child. So I decided if I ever have children, I'm going to have 5 or 10 children tomorrow. I'm joking. So, so that's how Amma comes to Sri Lanka. And then I realized she must be also feeling lonely here, because she can hardly get, she never got to get back to India, apart from just trying to get her visa renewed. So then my dad told me, once in a while, go and meet Amma, because even I can't make it. He was in the tea estates. He would not get, you know, leave and stuff like that. And that's when Channa Pereira and Donald had gone to watch a Tamil film of mine called Attagasam, I think in Roxy or Ricky or one of those places. And Donald had heard, they were looking for a girl to play the lead role in Anjalika, to play that character. And he was looking for a fresh Sri Lankan face. And it so happened that Donald knew that this girl who was in Attagasam is half Sri Lankan, half Indian. He said, let's go and see. So they went. I think Channa, I don't know whether he liked, I still haven't asked him that. He went straight to my granddad's place where my mother was, very smartly gave the script to my grandfather. My grandfather read it, and promptly he calls me and says, Chuti Duva, you must do this, it's really nice. It's a beautiful story, because, you know, it was with children and with animals, and it's a very sweet love story. And because of my grandfather, I decided to do it. I thought, okay, fine, I get to be with my mother. At the same time, my granddad gets to see me on the Sri Lankan screen. And the third motivation factor was the fact that I could learn Sinhala, because I used to always feel bad my mother never taught me Sinhala. She learned my dad's language, which is Kannada. She never bothered to teach us Sinhala, because she felt it was of no use, as in, like, you know.
But your performances have been great and acclaimed, especially in like the movie you mentioned, Anjalika and Swadanna Jivite. Now that has several songs that really captured the Sri Lankan audience.
Yes.
Tell us something about this.
I think after Anjalika, I even liked Hiripoda Vesa for that matter. Very colorful. Jayanath Iyer was the cameraman for it, and I think he had done a fabulous job. Udayakanta Varnasurya was the director. And after I watched that film, I felt like Sri Lankan movies were nice. They were beautiful. They were colorful. They had songs. So I decided to do Anjalika. And ever since then, I realized that if the industry needs to grow, the industry needs to have more. And if the industry needs to grow, you need to have more producers. If more actors need to get work, then you need to have more producers. So when Dhammika Sirivardhana said he wants to make a film, Alankulma Productions, right? They want to make a film called Asimam Piyambanna. and it was a good budget. And I know when you have a good budget, then you don't compromise. It shows on screen, you can tell. So I went on to do that, and that became a hit. And then finally, I went on to do Suvandana Jeevite, which again became a hit. And then it was beautiful songs, because they're not trying to ape the Indian industry, but I think it was something that they wanted to show the Sri Lankan audience that we also can make beautiful songs, we also can make colorful films, and I think they succeeded in that.
ලොතරැයි ඉතිහාසයේ රන් සලකුණ ಮಾವಿನ ಸಂಪತ್ತು.
Right, welcome back to M930 special edition, and we are with Pooja Umashankar, our special guest today. Pooja, you quit films before you came to this film which is running of you now. First tell me, why did you quit films?
I thought I quit. I
You
was
thought you quit.
supposed to. I don't know what I'm doing here right now. No, it was like this. My dad was never happy about the fact that I joined films because he felt it wasn't in our culture, it wasn't, you know, our background. And he said, I've given you a good education just so that I could secure your future. Now it's up to you to work in a good organization, you know, and blend well and then get married and have children and relieve me of my responsibilities and my duty as a father. And when I told him about films, he hit the roof. He said, nothing doing. If you come home, I'll skin you alive. That was what he had told me, right? And then I convinced him and I said, listen, not everybody gets a chance. So he lets me go. And then once I got my Nankadavul award for Nankadavul, all the 4 or 5 awards for that particular year, he said, okay, now, enough. You got what you wanted. You have proved, forget to everybody else. You proved to yourself that you can act. Now, more than this, I don't think I should allow you because you don't seem to know where to draw the line. And now I need to step in and I'm going to put a stop to this. Can you please stop? He didn't say please. You have to stop. He demanded it, right? He said, you stop it and let me search for a good boy for you. And he says, I find it so difficult because when proposals come, I have to say, no, Pooja's shooting. You come next month. He said, you can't do that. That's not, you know, that's not right. Yeah. You have to have some respect for the people who are calling you. Then I said, okay, fine, I'll quit. And he said, no, you don't know how to cook. You better learn how to cook. A girl needs to know how to cook. I don't think it's necessary these days, though, but no, but I will learn. It's important. It's nice to hear children say, my mother cooks well. You know, tomorrow if somebody comes and says, oh, your you know, son or daughter said that you can't cook to save your life, then it becomes a problem, right? So anyway, so that's the reason why I decided, because my dad respected my decision a few years back. I thought I need to respect his decision of wanting me to quit. And after Suvandana Jeevite, it did well, and even after Nankadavul, it kind of released simultaneously. I decided, okay, fine, let me quit because I've been there, done that, it was good, and let me leave when everything is good. Yeah. You know, instead of the career graph coming down again, I thought, let me do this. And I'm here today because, Chanakya, I would have been a fool if I had said no to the Sri Lankan film, the Kusapaba. If I had said no to it, I think I would have been a fool. It's a fabulous...
Is there any particular thing that brought you back to?
Yes, the Dhammik uncle was the one who called my dad and told me, listen, there's this a very famous story in Sri Lanka. It's part of the Jataka tales. It's about Buddha's previous birth, and she's playing one of the most famous characters. Every child, every household in Sri Lanka knows about Kusa and Pabhavati, and Pabhavati is supposed to be this beautiful princess, and it's an Indian story, and we think your daughter would be the best for it. I know you had asked her to stop, but then it's a request. And we are having Filmmakers Guild. We have all the best of the technicians coming together, the best cameraman, best art direction, best makeup, best hair, you know, best costumes and best production, producers and the best director, the best music director. And when you have all of them, the best editor, why won't you let Pooja act in this? And he requested my dad, and my dad thought, okay, fine. And the reason was because I kept, you know, throwing away all the proposals, not throwing away, I'm sorry. I kept rejecting all the proposals simply because it was all abroad, you know. I like to go abroad for a holiday, but I don't think I would like to settle down there. So that's how I came about. My dad said, okay, fine, so it's going to take me some more time to get a couple of more proposals. So I think in his head, I don't know, I'm thinking on his behalf, he said, okay, fine, go and finish that and quickly get back to India. But I finished and I'm still here, so.
Right, you played beggar's roles, and now you're playing a princess's role.
I know.
How do you feel playing these two roles?
It's black and white,
Yes.
and in between I have played all the other characters. I
Characters
feel
as well.
so. I think I've been fortunate enough to
Yes.
actually get to play both, because then I got to realize that I actually can do this if I put my heart to it,
Yeah.
and you can do it if you have the support of fantastic technicians like the ones that
Full-time
worked
stories,
on.
I mean,
when
on the
I
sets of-
came home, Amma would say that, tell us that when we get to school, you have the nun or our sister or somebody, they wouldn't come to everybody's room, but then we would hear these stories, right? Beauty and the Beast, everybody knows. Rapunzel, everybody knows. The same way, my mother once, I remember mentioning this beautiful princess called Prabhavati and this really ugly prince called Kusa. And they were this king and queen. Once upon a time, they lived in great India, the emperor of India, and his ugly son. And anyway, so that's how it goes. And then finally, in a lotus pond, she finds out that her husband, she gets, they force her to get married to not force, they cheat her and then get her married to somebody else, thinking he's a handsome prince. And then she finds out that he looks like a demon. And then she runs away. And then finally, the father decides, the emperor decides to kill her, cut her into 7 pieces. That's how much I knew. But I didn't know how important or the lessons that this story holds for every human being, for every person alive. And it's only while making the film and finally, after watching it on the screen, I realized, my God, it's not just another Beauty and the Beast story. It's not just another love story. It's a story about life. It's a story about being a good human being. It's a story about so many things, about patience, courage, strength, so many things. So basically, I think me having been part of this has been a fairy tale and a dream come true put together.
அறிவார்ந்த ஆரம்பத்திற்கு என்கைபீடியா ப்ரோ.
Right, just look at the production quality and the sceneries, Pooja. They're amazing. And when we all watched the movie, and there was not a dull moment. And when the movie was ending, we were still wanting more. Tell us something about your experience in the production.
The thing is, the crew that worked together was huge.
Yeah.
It was the best of the best, like the creme de la creme of the Sri Lankan cinema that worked on this. And you can see it.
Yeah.
It's shown on screen.
Yeah.
And I think the most beautiful part is the lyrics written by Sunil sir himself, our director. It's beautiful. If you understand every word in it, it brings tears to your eyes when you listen to the music, right? So that's why I feel it's like poetry and a painting. Channa Deshapriya's camera work, I think, was fantastic. And I think he can beat any Indian cameraman, anytime, right? So, and basically even every department for that matter, including the star cast. You had Jackson Anthony as Kusa, you had Ravindraya, Veena Jayakodi, Kusum Renu, Palita Silva, Mahindra Pereira, You had the best of best, and my most favorite and my most close in the film, Kudi's character played by Chandani Akki. So basically, when you have a fabulous star cast like this, and you have Somaratna Dissanayaka and Renuka Balasurya, Dhammika Sirivartana, Uday Kantavarna Surya, Sunil T. Fernando, and H.D. Premasiri, and Aryadasa Piris, and you have the entire gamut of the film industry working together. Janita Marasinghe, I'm not forgetting names, it's just, the list, Rajita, all of them, it just goes on. And then you have dance choreography done by Chandana Vikramasinghe. And I think what's fantastic was that Kathakali episode. He made Jackson Aya learn. It's not easy, the Navarasa on getting it all on your face, and for Jackson Aya to get those expressions. It's not easy for an actor or for a dance choreographer to actually do that, but he did. Every department, our department, they went all the way to Delhi to get the props for the movie. He, Natikalaya, and his crew, his daughters. I remember we were shooting for the movie once. I got up at 4:30 for makeup, and so I'm up from 4:30, and it went on till 7 the next day in the morning, and nobody complained, not the art department, not the production department, nobody complained. And after I got to the room, I was so tired, I cried for half an hour, because they said, you have to be ready with makeup again at 10:30 in the morning. They leave you at 7 and they said 10:30, so that gives me just hardly enough time to remove my makeup, have a shower, and then go get back into the makeup room. Samira was the one, Madhu Kindle-Pittiya. Madhu Kindle-Pittiya was the one who did the makeup. And I was thinking, there's no time. And I cried like a baby. Amma didn't know about it. And then I went to the set, and I realized Hina Tiklaya's daughter also looked tired. So I went and asked her, I said, Nanki, what's the matter? She said, Akki, I went and I cried in the room. Then I finally wiped my tears, and I'm back on the set. So that's how we all work together, We cried not because we were sad, cried because you're tired, but then you have to go back. And so we finished the movie in 39 days. And I think location, now that you mentioned about location, I must mention Ranmini Tenna. If Ranmini Tenna wasn't there, we wouldn't have been able to finish the film in the way we did, or within the time span, because we had very limited resources in terms of people, or in terms of money, or in terms of places. We had very limited resources, because this had to look like it's an Indian film. It is in India. We cannot make it look like a Sri Lankan film. And for that, Ranmini Tenna played a very important role. Fantastic accommodation, fantastic food, and a place to shoot, a studio to shoot. Everything was provided, and it was fantastic. So, and Sri Lanka, I think, has one of the best locations. And you will not believe it, Chanakya, I asked Bala sir, the director of Nankadavul, to come down, including Chelian cameraman and the executive producer Shalini, because they're shooting for the next film. And I wanted them to come to Lanka, not for them to come and decide that they should, not forcing them to shoot here. I said, just come and have a look. And they came here with a very, I don't think we'll find good locations here, but they left with tears in their eyes saying, Sri Lanka is such a beautiful place, we'd love to come and shoot here. He went, I think, wanting to come back to Sri Lanka and shoot, but hopefully in the future he should come here.
Good work you've done. This is M930, a special edition. We are chatting with Pooja. We have a lot more to chat. We'll go for a break now, and we'll be right back.
சிறு தூக்கம் பருவத்தில் முளைக்கிற முதல் கூச்சம்
பரீட்சைக்கு படிக்கிற அதிகாலை கழுத்தினில் விழுந்திடும் முதல் மாலை
புகைப்படம் எடுக்கையில் திணறும் புன்னகை அன்பே அன்பே நீரானே அடைமழை நேரத்தில் பருகும் தேநீர் அன்பே அன்பே நீரானே
தினமும் காலையில் எனது வாசலில் இருக்கும் நாளிதழ் நீதானே
பேருந்தில் நீ எனக்கு ஜன்னல்லோரம் பின்வாசல் முற்றத்திலே துளசி மாடம்
திறந்தில் எனக்கு ஜன்னலோரம் பின்வாசல் முற்றத்திலே துளசி மாடம்
ரொம்ப கொடுமைப்படுத்துறாங்க சாமி. ஒரு குருடின கூட பார்க்காம யாருக்குமே இல்லாம சித்திரவதை பண்றாங்க. எனக்கு எப்ப சாமி விடுவு காலம் பிறக்கும்? இந்த நாய் பூனை எல்லாம் குட்டி உணவா பிறந்தா தாயை கொண்டு தின்னிடுவாமே. அதே மாதிரி என்னைய பிறந்தோடனே கொண்டு இருக்கலாமே. எவ்வளவோ சாமிங்க இருக்குன்னு நம்பி என்ன நேர்ந்து விட்டாங்க. எல்லாரும் பாவத்தையும் கழுவார் ஏசு சாமின்னாங்க. ஆனா ஒரு பாவம் பண்ணாத என்ன ரட்சிக்கலையே. எல்லா புகழும் இறைவனுக்கு என்ன சொல்றாங்களே. என்ன இப்படி படிச்சது கூட அந்த அல்லா சாமிக்கு பெருமையா சாமி. தெருவுக்கு தெரு இருக்கிற பிள்ளையாரு முருகா காளியாத்தா மாரியாத்தான்னு எந்த சாமியும் நேர் எடுத்து கூட பார்க்கலையே. நான் என்ன தப்பு பண்ண சாமி? இவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் முடிவே இல்லை சாமி. இப்படியே ஒருத்தர் மாத்தி ஒருத்தர் வந்துகிட்டது ஆயிருப்பாங்க. ஆளாளுக்கு வந்து என்ன வாங்கிட்டு போய் கொஞ்சம் கொஞ்சமா சீரழிக்கு போறது. எல்லா சாமிகளும் வேடிக்கை பார்த்துட்டு மட்டும்தான் இருக்கும். நீங்களாவது இந்த நரகத்துல இருந்து என்ன காப்பாத்துங்க சாமி. ரொம்ப ரணவேதனையா இருக்கு. பாடா போன இந்த உலகத்துல என்னால வாழ முடியல சாமி. இந்த பிறவி மட்டும் இல்ல, இனி எந்த பிறவியும் இல்லாம பண்ணிடுங்க சாமி. கருணை காட்டுங்க சாமி.
जो लोग जीवित नहीं रह सकते, मृत्यु उनके लिए तेरा वरदान है। वरदान। मैं ब्रह्मा, मैं ईश्वर, अहम ब्रह्मास्मि।
Right, Pooja, we're going to check your opinion on certain things.
Okay.
We're going to throw you into a little bit of a spot.
Soon after that episode, my God,
Exactly.
okay, now my head's all muddled up.
Right, tell me, what is the biggest sacrifice you ever did in life?
Biggest sacrifice?
Yes.
I think joining films and not being able to be there with family when important functions happen or important events happen, that's been the biggest sacrifice.
And in Indian film industry, when you take, whom do you think who has been there for a long time and reinvented or redefined him or herself?
Oh, yes, Kamal Hassan, why not?
Kamal Hassan.
Yes.
What, in your opinion, being a beautiful woman, has it helped you or has it been a handicap for you for taking people you seriously?
It has its pros and cons. Yes, it has both.
What do you say more?
I think more it's been positive.
Positive.
Yes.
When, what do you think of, talking of women, what do you think of the biggest contribution a woman could do to society?
Oh, well, family.
Family?
Yes, society as in without a woman, then you don't have kids and then you don't have a family. So yes, I think the most important role a woman would have, I believe, it need not be somebody else's opinion. My opinion is that of being a mother, of being a wife, of being a daughter, of being a granddaughter, of being, you know, all the roles. It's all in one role. So I think family, yes.
Now, you see, many airports, due to security reasons of the terrorism threat, uses body scanners, which you can see full body through.
Okay.
Now, do you think as a woman you feel comfortable of going through such a situation?
What do you mean body scanners? Now I'm not aware of that.
Yes, there is.
What do you mean
Many
can see
airports are
through?
using full body scanners in Europe and other countries.
It's okay. I think you know what in the present situation, you can't help it. I guess it's okay. I'm okay.
You're okay with
I'm
that?
okay with it.
Give me 3 words that would describe you.
4 words.
4 words? Okay, 4 words.
Ice and spice and everything nice.
And one more thing you would want to achieve in life before you die.
Oh, before I die? I want to get
Long way of
married and
far.
have children before I die. No, I'm joking. Nothing. Chanakya, my only intention, I know, is that once I'm dead and gone, I just want to go to heaven. I don't want to go to hell. So my only want in life is to become a better human being. That's all.
You know, there's a pop star called Justin Timberlake. He
Yes.
said that being famous, the worst thing about being famous is the invasion of your privacy. Do you experience this?
Oh, yes.
And how do you handle it?
I ignore it because as long as your friends, family and well-wishers know me and know me as a girl, as my character, and if they realize, they know that who Pooja is, and you know, she does this, she doesn't do that, she's well-mannered or she's well-kept, because I would like to take a little extra time on this, if you can give me
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
is simply because we, collateral damage, right? Being in this industry comes with its own collateral damage, and that people use this as an opportunity to, you know, slander you and, you know, say false things about you. And for me, it doesn't matter. As long as my family and my friends and my well-wishers are with me. The rest of them can think what they want, as long as my family is
Pooja,
with me.
thank you very much for joining this very special time and talking all about basically your life and your work and everything. And we hope to see you once again on a special program like this. We
Sure.
hope your film will be successful, and we know lots of people are going. We went to see that.
Yes.
And
Thank you.
we wish you luck in everything you want to. And I hope personally that you will stay in films.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's the special edition of M930, and we will see you once again in another special program like this. My thanks to Pooja and everyone.
M930.
see what I see. But every time she asks me, do I look okay? I say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. Yeah. Her lips, I could kiss them all day if she'd let me. Her laugh, she hates but I think it's so sexy. She's so beautiful, and I tell her every day. Oh, you know, I never ask you to change. If perfect's what you're searching for, then just stay the same. So don't even bother asking if you look okay. You know I'll say, when I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world stops and stares for a while. 'Cause girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. The way you are. The way you are. Girl, you're amazing, just the way you are. When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change. 'Cause you're amazing, just the way you are. And when you smile, the whole world